Started. Okay, boys and girls, this is the as of yet unnamed podcast of fucking who the fuck cares. All right, on to the news. Do 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 do.
Okay, what happened today?
Today in the news, Brexit's done. The UK has left the European Union. That's a very big story, very big indeed. People, frankly, I don't know. I'm surprised that it's in the news now and not 3 years ago, but. You know, I guess they were constipated up in Congress.
Well, it was in the news. However, what's interesting is for the next couple of months, things are just basically, business as usual. There really are no changes going into effect until basically 2021, except in name. So basically now, Britain still needs to abide. However, they're not going to be present at the meetings where they make the laws. So they kind of shot themselves in the foot, at least for the time being.
So they still can't, post memes and shit.
What?
What?
Memes are illegal.
Memes aren't actually
memes
illegal.
are illegal.
UK flag has been taken down at the EU Parliament, and I bet a bunch of people care. Let's see what this video is.
Oh yeah.
For some reason they care. Why is it making a noise?
No, but all right, Sam. Riddle me this: why, and why have you? I don't want to dwindle on this too long because I'm not the most expert in the subject, but it is a pretty big story. But why didn't this happen in 2014 when it was voted for?
Well, because
lobbying.
Negotiations. I mean, listen, Britain has gone.
What do you mean
through
lobbying?
I don't know.
Negotiation.
I don't know.
Britain has gone through 3 prime ministers already. I mean, we went through, David Cameron resigned over it. We lost Theresa May, and now we have Boris Johnson, who, if you ask a lot of British people who, are pro-European Union, will say is basically British Donald Trump. So it's been a struggle in England to even get this to the, to the talking, to the. We gotta edit this out. I'm screwing this up.
You don't have to speak perfectly, Sam. It's organic.
He'll do it.
Basically, just to get them to talk about this took a very long time.
I remember there, and this is just a more of a social commentary aspect of it that I noticed because I saw that the fact that it was a story that some major news website, it was linked on Reddit. I think it might have also been CNN, but it was talking about how there was a picture on Instagram of these very young Brexiters being happy about it, and people were so skeptical that anyone young would ever play into Brexit that they were calling them out as paid actors. And then the major news story was investigating if they were. I didn't bother to read it, but it doesn't really matter if they were or not, because the very fact that they'd be so skeptical that anyone young can hold a different opinion is pretty interesting to me. Or you know what? I don't think they're actually. Well, I wouldn't say I don't think. I'd say alternative theory is that they know they're being divisive and they're just using it to make more money.
That's true. It's kind of funny that you'd expect with the internet that people would kind of stereotype less, but it kind of just happens. Except it's just more weird now.
It happens way more. Well, it's way easier to get. It's the whole tribalism thing.
It's subculture and stereotypes now. They're divided into tiny stereotypes.
The most interesting thing about it to me is that they don't realize that their cultures are subcultures and that they think everyone thinks that their opinion is the majority.
Here is actually something new that just came on CNN about 2 hours ago. 2 women dead and a 2-year-old are injured in a shooting at Texas A&M University.
Wait, why was a child that? How smart were they?
I am not sure. It was at a resident hall.
So they lived at this
However,
university.
it seems to me that there's been another school shooting in the U.S.
I thought they were stabbed.
Yeah, but is that really surprising? Is that really new? I mean, I put it on.
It really isn't surprising, and I feel.
Dude,
I mean, that one's not even that big of a deal.
It really, in the grand scheme of things, it's not. And we are becoming more desensitized to this as a nation every year.
No, I think we should be desensitized to it though, because that's a good way to cope.
It's very common.
Well, I agree with you there, but I feel like it's something that shouldn't happen, so we shouldn't be desensitized.
Here's the thing about it. Here's the thing, Sam. Sam, there should doesn't really mean anything in reality. there is no perfect world though. So here's the thing, right? So like objectively, the majority of people are going to not endorse shootings. I wouldn't, obviously. I think it's retarded, but no one's arguing for shootings, right?
I mean,
So the people who are doing shootings aren't really influenced by the opinion. Like if you're trying to put out influences in the media, those people aren't giving a shit about your influences because they already are very so far strayed from any. They're essentially forces of nature because people are animals, and even though we have sapience above them, like we're still like objects in nature that can't really be dealt with until we know about. You know, like if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
I agree, but I also think that some people can. I think some people can be conditioned into that when they might have not previously. But I also think that the way we currently treat
Well,
people,
everything.
like,
Of
whole
course they're
discussion about it-
conditioned into it.
Yeah.
But like that's the whole thing. They're predisposed to have those sort of mindsets, and then those are the so if anything, you should just instead of trying to drown out things that might like filter, because that could literally be anything, like anybody's. And then they try and track like this is causing this and this is causing this, but each individual perception is influenced very minutely by everything they perceive, and that's what leads them down those tracks. So you can't guess, even if it seems obvious, like violent video game. It's really not, because those people who are predisposed may or may not see violent video games, or they may or may not see something else that leads them to those conclusions. But the best thing you can do is give them pathways to draw other conclusions. The best things you can do is converse with. I read about this thing called Minds.com, where they're specifically trying to get people like Nazis and like people with like really like societally hated opinions to go on there, so they'll actually talk to them. I actually heard about it with Daryl Davis on Joe Rogan. He was endorsing it.
In other news, for all you cannabis connoisseurs out there has apparently been a newly discovered cannabis compound that has been shown to be potentially 30 times more potent than THC.
Wait,
fucking Jay and Silent Bob.
Hold on though, hold on. What do you mean by that? Do you mean it's like a synthetic cannabinoid?
Nope.
It's
It was a it says discovered cannabis compound. It's called tetrahydrocannabiferol.
All your news stories are from CNN.
Let's talk about marijuana and your
Yeah,
brain.
try something reliable.
I'm on Google News
Like
right now.
Prague or you.
They also found a cousin of CBDP.
CBDP. That sounds like a great band name.
R2D2.
Added to the list. CDBP. It's like a stoner parody of AC/DC. Like, you know how there's Mac Sabbath? Like you get a bunch of weed themed costumes and then you play AC/DC songs like I'm getting high on the way to hell. What?
Strongly to both receptors 33 times more than THC does and 63 times more than another compound called THC.
How do you activate it?
Bruh. Anal insertion.
Now, does it actually get you high, or is it just potent at whatever the fuck it does?
It'll get you high.
Dude.
But how? But wait. But if it's so strong, then how do we use it?
Potential effects in humans. This is CBD. The THCP, stronger potential for health benefits.
It will make you orgasm.
And I don't know if it'll make. To me, they talk about medicine, but I feel like they are talking about the more medicinal side of it, so that people will see it for that rather than getting high. But I can imagine that if it's THC, that it's not going to get you,
I would
30 times.
All right. Well, hold up. Where does it? How do we obtain some? There's only one way to find out. I'm willing to test it. Of course, I'll test it. I test all sorts of weird shit.
Dude, you should apply to be like a drug tester.
I looked into that. It's not that easy. No. It's just like if you want to be a study, it's like there's specific studies that promote themselves, and most of them are either about conditions or whatever. So you even if they want someone without a condition, it's still like it's not usually drugs.
Yeah, it's just like medications and shit.
Looks like Rush Limbaugh has advanced lung cancer.
Yeah, I heard about that. He's a guy who like arguably divided America. That's what my dad thinks. I think he was one of many people, but in the comment section for that Reddit thread that Sam saw, I fucking everybody
They
was just so happy. It was ridiculous. Like, Jesus Christ, be human. Well, I say be human like it's not human to hate on people. Why do we elevate
Apparently-
humanity?
apparently the second monarch butterfly sanctuary worker has been found dead in Mexico. Apparently they were the first.
Oh fuck! What are these Mexican rescue men doing?
Yeah, really.
Why do they hate the monarch like the first place?
Well, give us time to actually talk about the stories, Sam. You can't.
True. I had a good point about fucking school shootings, but it's okay. For another time, because I could go on for hours about school.
Let's see what's in my news feed.
Dude.
It's really something, you know.
Dude, yeah, I get it. I have a theory though. If 50 years from now, weed will get so high you can take it and just be high for like
Ooh,
fucking weeks straight, and then then secretly the drug will evolve, and then it'll start. This is like one of those grandpa conspiracy theories, and then it'll start to like take over people's minds and control them. They're all gonna be fucking each other and like mind control. They'll be like completely unaware as the robots take over, and then
I kind of lost you as the robots took over.
and then we'll be in the constant like blissful paradise. Unknowingly, we're in the Matrix, and it's actually already happened. We're actually in the future right now. We're in the Matrix. We're just in this drug-induced euphoria.
Well,
Except mine didn't work. I accidentally
what if I told you we're already in drug-induced whatever? Literally, your consciousness
That's
is
what I'm
made of this drug soup. Any
So,
That's true. I got the bad.
Here-
I got the fucking sour weed though. I got the bad strain.
here's a more interesting news note to end on. A unexploded World War II bomb has been found in central London, and it prompted a whole bunch of evacuations. And this
I heard about that.
this isn't itself huge news because they find this all the time, but I find it an interesting talking point to launch off of, that they find these all the time still in Europe, like 100, not 100 years later. Although some of them I guess are from World War One, so 100 years later, really. I mean,
Things terrify me, but I'm
That's actually
Jenny.
pretty interesting.
they always talk about the World War II ones left over, but there also must be a bunch of World War One and from like fuck other wars. So it's not even just the World War II ammunition. I bet the entire continent is like a bomb at some point. Oh my God! Of Europe is a bomb.
That would be a good, like, B movie. That would be like a B movie supervillain plot. Where he, like, finds
The,
the bomb and all
the,
the mines
the,
and
the,
all at once.
the Islamic terrorists plan to explode the entire continent of Europe, so America has to wage war.
If I may, I would like to end something on a really funny or kind of stupid story, if I may.
Okay. Is it kittens or
You know who this is already, look this up. The Philadelphia Flyers, their new mascot, Gritty. I would look him up. Had assault charges. Cleared of assault charges. After
Isn't that like a requirement in Philly?
13-year-old boy in the back.
Wait, what did he do? He stabbed him?
Pushed him in the back.
Oh my God! This dude, this guy looks like
Grimace.
this guy looks like if Grimace fucked Sam, and then he had a retard child that was super into
Fuck animal and did a pile
That's
of
kinda-
cocaine.
he has his fist in the air like.
This guy on here.
He has his fist in the air with the boxing gloves, like it's a time for a pounding. Like he's about to beat the shit out of you, but he's in such a euphoric cocaine buzz that he's gonna enjoy every moment of it. Like it's not a malicious act. It's just simply it's like that Smile HD video.
Can you send me that image because my Chrome decided to not work? I have no internet.
Look up
Thank you.
look up Gritty. Oh, I guess.
No, I
Stated
can't look
that,
stuff
that
up.
they cleared him because there's no
I'll
evidence
read.
to support the claim. However, you know, that just doesn't happen.
First person evidence. He had a fucking fist mark on his back.
I sent it in the general chat.
Why, thank you. But you know what's funny about the whole Grimace thing is that I put a picture of Grimace for no reason on our image board, like, so we must have summoned him back. Why did they even pick Grimace for McDonald's anyway?
Who the hell is that emo chick?
Or why? I don't know if she's a fan, I guess.
A fan of Grimace?
Nobody's watching us.
Why did they name him Grimace? We're not live streaming. Why did they name him Grimace though? That's a terrifying name. That makes me think of like a murderer. You know, like You ever heard of the Chelsea grin, where they get a knife and they cut your mouth and do a smile? It makes me think of that.
I always heard of it as a Glasgow smile.
They're both the same thing.
Why is it called a Chelsea grin? Where the fuck is Chelsea? Isn't that like a place in like in like fucking Manhattan?
Maybe they did it there. I mean, there was the Salem witch trials. That's in the U.S.
Very far away from Manhattan.
Well, yeah, but it was still there. I
Although
don't know.
those are kind of like over grandiosed by the town.
What's there?
The Salem witch trials.
Oh yeah, way over. Yeah. Yeah.
There's just really few things.
It's kind of like it's like their big tourist thing. They're like, hey, we used to kill random women and say there are witches.
Hooray!
That was fun. Look at our culture.
Meanwhile, Centralia, Pennsylvania's like, we don't even want our town. It's fucking on fire.
Dude, imagine if fucking Canada did that. We're like, hey, you should come visit our town. We used to rape a bunch of natives here in our little resident schools. You should totally check it out. It's got a lot of culture.
Nice museum town.
You know what? It's funny because since like Canada's done not much bad shit, that was probably the worst thing Canada did. We've done so much worse that we've done the same thing as you.
Wait, hold on. I take a problem with that statement. I think everything Canada does is just terrible.
Canada's terrible, but like, I mean, we all know that. But
We're evil.
I mean,
We're
we're
actually
weed,
horrible.
which is nice and underage and we're drinking, you know.
You guys ever wonder where the Nazis went?
Wait, Ethan, how the hell did you put that image on? Because it keeps saying I have nothing to paste.
Hear that, Argentina? You know what I'm talking about.
Wait, what do you mean image? Like in the board?
I'm copy pasting it from Google
For you
Images.
Argentinians out there, your country had Nazis. Some of you may even be descendants.
Yes, exactly.
Well-
No, I clicked on the plus code and you have to add it from your computer.
Had a German name and you're Argentinian, you're probably a Nazi. Well, obviously that's wrong. You're not a Nazi. But you're descendant of somebody who fled Germany, and if they did that, they're probably a Nazi.
I'm actually the descendant of a Nazi as well as a concentration camp victim, and they married each other. Well, actually, no.
Wait, that's a fucking love story for the ages.
I worded that wrong. It was the Yeah, it was the daughter of a Nazi. She didn't believe in it as much, but her parents were both like her uncle was a fucking Nazi pilot. Anyways, then she fell in love with a guy who was.
Well, not everyone in the Luftwaffe was necessarily a Nazi. Actually, they were some of the big. I'm not. A lot of them were, but there was also like a big faction of like Nazi opposers in the Luftwaffe.
No. Actually, the uncle was more cool. Like, there was this one thing where he was like crossing France in a plane, then the plane crashed, and he was let through enemy territory by the French because they felt bad for him. They wasn't gonna harm them.
Yeah, well, there was this whole thing where if you had to bail out in Germany, you wanted to be caught by the Luftwaffe because their camps were like way more humane and like Geneva Convention and shit.
So he was kind of cool, but that was the uncle. But the actual parents of my grandma were like actual Nazis, and they.
Well, actually, they managed all the stalags. Like essentially, you wanted to stay in a normal prison camp and not get sent to the concentration camp, which was the.
The shitty one. The
Yeah.
camp, So so the daughter.
Hogan's Heroes is about it. It's great.
Jody, shut up.
Sorry.
What?
Don't engage him. Finish the story.
Oh, so the daughter of some actual full-on Nazis fell in love with my grandpa, who was he was in a concentration camp at 3. Then his dad was shot when he was 3. His dad was shot in front of him at one of those shooting rounds where like they get you up and they get the rifles and they shoot him, right? He was like watching, like he was forced to watch him get away. Then his sister died of starvation in his arms, literally. And then he married a fucking daughter of a Nazi, and then it didn't work out, and she actually ended up fucking her uncle. There's a lot of shit.
Hooray!
And then she said, "I'm sorry, I won't do it again." So he believed her, and they got married and shit. He did it again after they.
Well, she was a dirty cheating Jew.
Yeah,
She
and there was also there's also this whole thing where like, since my mom and my brother and I, we kind of have this a bit of an Asian look, especially my mom. So when she was born, the first thing that one of the Germans said was, aren't their neighbors Koreans? And like they had like this whole conspiracy theory where like where my grandma like cheated with a
We get
Korean
DNA
birth.
test.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, we have a bit of that like that absurd kind of look too. But, I don't know. I could totally have some fucking. My grandpa just says it's because we're descendants.
You could have a Korean in you, but you wouldn't even know it.
There's a story where a woman in a concentration camp, she kind of fell in love with the Nazi guard, and she actually testified because he actually did help her. She testified on his behalf at Nuremberg. Got him off.
What if he didn't get off after that? That would just be the biggest.
Alright,
like, okay,
we should probably move on from Nazis. Anything else interesting?
No, we shouldn't. Where are those brands on your back from? It says prisoner number 12. It's like, oh yeah, that I put that on myself. It's just a tattoo. I liked it. Yeah. No, we're in a healthy, sustainable relationship.
It was. I mean, if you're into BDSM, the Holocaust is a great place to be.
Yeah, it's like a sex torture dungeon, except for
And
sex.
just like that, you'll also
Less
your
fun.
serious
It's a comedy podcast.
Starting
Who
it off-
cares?
Yeah, we're starting it off hard. If you don't like this, get the fuck out. Well, actually, you can stay. But if you don't like it and you don't, then there's really
Don't listen to Ethan.
torturing yourself.
I'll suck your dick for views.
Yeah, actually, if you don't like it, you still have to stay. You're not allowed to. It's a BDSM thing, right? It's just torture. We're actually.
You're comparing the
torture.
Holocaust to a sex act. You know, it was-
No, I said it's.
It
a sex
wasn't-
dungeon. I said it's a sex dungeon without the sex.
Hey, he laughed, so that means it's objectively funny to someone.
Exactly. Well, I don't know if it's objectively funny. What if it's actually not funny to me, but I just think it's funny to me, so I'm laughing. But then I like look.
If you think it's funny, then how is it not funny? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, how do I know that anything's real, man?
Nothing is real. I mean, you don't, but like, I'm saying the very fact that it's there proves itself. Like, if
myself and I don't know it.
the laugh is a subconscious reaction, thus it proves itself.
What if there's a secret brain inside my brain who's hiding things from me?
Well, then it's still real to you who experiences it. Like, it doesn't matter the
That doesn't mean it's
mechanism of
subjective.
action.
It doesn't mean subjective. It
No,
means
I'm-
my brain is tricking me into thinking I enjoy it when I don't. And I'm actually screaming for
Well,
help.
it would still be objectively enjoying it to you, because by tricking it, it makes it true. Since consciousness is an illusion to begin with.
So therefore, objectivity.
Like if you can be tricked into thinking it's real, then it is real.
Oh, by the way, that image you sent me, it just shows up as a Discord poop. There's actually, it didn't load. Like,
Well, it's on the collage thing.
Anyway,
it's
what else
not,
you got
it's not
going on?
loading. My Chrome is fucked, guys. I cannot see anything on the collage.
Then restart it. Yeesh.
You post on that website? Is that what you put on?
I don't want to close. I have like 500 tabs. Not literally, but like 100. 20 of them are like.
Who's this emo chick next to Grimace? I didn't even
That's Ethan. What do you mean?
She's his only fan.
That's Ethan in his early 12-year-old days.
Actually, it is me. I look exactly like that.
Oh, what else we got planned for tonight, boys?
Oh yeah, isn't there like weather sex?
No, we're not to weather yet. No.
Where are we?
Well, if you want to be so inconcise as to bring up the transition, I have to check because what I wrote down because I'm a retard and I forgot to set the timer. Start with all right. Oh right. Now it's time for car talk.
Oh god, the thing's disgusting. I just saw the Grimace guy, but like the orange one.
All right, Ethan. We have to let the car talk people in.
Hell, you mean
Wait.
Cynthia? What are you talking about? What is this?
All right. So now we're gonna talk about cars. What do you guys know about cars? They're fast and they go.
Bacala.
They got a lot of engines. They're pretty neat. You know what cars I like? I like hot rods. American cars.
I
Fucking
thought that was a
cars that are made in New York. Cars with cup holders I can hold my coffee in.
Yeah, I got
I like
one of
the
those
one that can put my dick
Japanese
in.
cars, the Honda Accord, and I love it. It's great.
Toyota.
You know what I think is a pretty nice car? Is the
What?
Pontiac Aztec.
Oh yeah, that.
You know what I saw the
that's-
other
It is an art piece of a shitmobile.
There's a piece of shit. You know what I saw the other day?
Was it a Pontiac Az? I saw a Pontiac Aztec the other day, actually on the road, undamaged. I'm surprised one of those things is still driving them.
He sent the picture, the Pontiac Trans Am.
Well, I see all of those all around. I get the old fucks in my neighborhood don't make
Oh,
it.
it's great. We had the Ronald Reagan sticker from the 80s. It was great. That car is beautiful.
Well, Ronald
Well,
Reagan's
I
kind
like
of a piece of shit if you ask me, but you know.
Agreed. You know what I like in my car?
You're supposed to be doing an accent.
Yeah, I don't know how to do an accent.
Not doing anything.
You know what I like in.
I'm gonna yell
How
at
do
you
you
now.
do a New York
I'm
accent?
gonna yell at you. You guys are suck in accents.
I'm not even really trying that hard, but as long as it's clearly trying, it's just.
Sam, you grew up in New York. I grew up in fucking Canada.
Then I have exceptions for you. I'm talking about lung hemorrhage, polio, whatever the fuck your name is.
That is Mr. Long Hemorrhage Polio Pastrami Patty to you, good sir.
I thought it was this.
Polio pastrami.
It is Long Hemorrhage Polio Pastrami Patty, good sir. The third, good sir, I say. You know, that disrespect offends me. I challenge you to a duel at high noon. All right, all right, yes. All right, so the cars we're gonna do with are gonna be the 2001 Pontiac Aztecs. Beautiful pieces of shit, really, really. so essentially, we can probably get them for about $400, and the goal is to spend not under $1,000 tricking them out for combat. We have till high noon tomorrow, and the challenge is fight to the death. So essentially, it will be really easy to go to.
On Long Island.
I'd say you'd probably want to focus on padding features personally, because this thing is so prone to flipping over and exploding. You won't really have to try too hard to kill your opponent. I think the real meta to this match is going to be in the survival.
Talk about a fucked up car that flips over. Look up the Reliant Robin. Those fucking British people. Those fucking cars are so fucking stupid. See, Ethan, those are your kind of people.
Oh, fuck off, man. At least I know how to read.
Now this is a monstrosity that I honestly hope to God never gets built. This is a concept image of a compact Aztec. In reality, I would create my pants. I didn't send it yet, but you know I'm also gonna.
Oh my god, that's like a truck to Hot Wheels.
Actually, in real life, I would love that thing, but that's not who I am.
Pontiac Aztec is probably one of the ugliest cars.
Now this is gonna be the end result of this sort of complication competition. I think.
Should take the Pontiac Aztec out back and put a bullet through his head.
Ooh, I like that.
Actually, you know what? I'm seeing this image and it actually does look kind of similar.
In a major metropolitan area.
It doesn't look too different to the Cybertruck. But I actually like the Cybertruck. By the way, I fucking love the Cybertruck. I don't know why everyone rips on it, just because like it's different from what you're expecting. So it's not even retro. It's new. It's based on retro video games. But
Ugly. It looks cartoon-like.
dude, I love that it looks cartoon-like. Why wouldn't you want to drive a cartoon?
What other car looks like that? Have you ever seen a car that looked like that? I would totally drive the shit out of that if I had any use for it.
And it's super useful. It has all these cool features. Its wheels can literally change shape.
You could put a turret on the back. Shoot zombies. I would get that in the zombie apocalypse. Dude, that would be the best zombie apocalypse surviving thing. It's like a truck car. It's maneuverable, but it can also carry like
Apparently,
cars behind it.
apparently it got spot. I heard it on the headline. It got spotted in the Jay Leno's garage thing, so we might see more of it.
Ooh.
Wait,
Yeah.
so I'm confused. Oh, sorry.
You know, Elon Musk actually drives around the Cybertruck sometimes just for attention to kind of like. I mean, he probably does it because it's fun too. But there's also this theory that he does it so that
puts his
people
car
can
in
see it.
autopilot and jerks off.
And he does some like edgy ass driving and like
autopilot.
speeds and shit so that people notice. And then they're like, oh shit, that's a cool ass car. And then they make news headlights about it.
Does he ever get pulled over?
He's the only one with like no, because it's always like they found like little cameras and stuff where it shows. But I don't know why. I guess maybe it does. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's technically not actually. I don't even know if it's legal yet for him to drive it. So they have little videos of him. Like, over curbs and
Well,
shit.
you can make a
He's like,
concept
"Ah, fuck
car. You can make a concept car legal. There's like a guide on. You can build a car. You just have to meet they're pretty easy to get. You need a bumper, a license plate, headlights. You know, just shit like that. I'm pretty sure it has all that.
I'm pretty sure he just drives it to be like, ah, fuck you, I got one and you guys don't. 'Cause
Wait,
he can't
so
drive.
was it just a concept, or are they actually going to produce something based off of that?
No, they're making them, dude. Like it's a real. No, he drives around a real one. They have a bunch of real working ones. And
So,
they already have pre-orders. They already have a lot of pre-orders, like 250K.
How much? Oh, I heard it was supposed to be affordable, like 37 or some shit.
That is 80 grand. It's affordable for the type of thing it is.
Well, isn't there like multiple models?
Oh yeah, there is actually. You're right. I'm gonna
I mean, if I was a rich bitch like Sam and his working ass, I'd get one.
Same. If I had
Actually,
use for it too,
move
I'd
out of
go
my...
in, like the southwest or something.
Well, if I was a rich bitch like Sam, I'd live out in the Southwest or somewhere where it's not fucking freezing half the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'd be like in the desert and drive this thing around and shit, you know. But yeah, so I mean that's not my ideal place. I'd rather live in actually the north with the pines and shit. But I mean if I was gonna do this, to get this car, I'd do that. But they're priced anywhere between 40 grand to 70 grand American. These trucks, depending on the type.
40 grand? Sam, you could afford 40 grand.
They're also electric.
40 grand a year. I can't afford 40 grand.
Dude, just buy it next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
Duh.
You live with your parents. You don't have to pay bills.
No, and I also pay rent.
Then
It's
don't.
actually cheaper than the F-150 by 20 grand. A low model.
Is the Tesla?
Yeah, the Cybertruck, and it can pull it.
Like I forget to plug my phone in it, man. I'm gonna go to work in the morning and realize I didn't plug in my fucking car and be screwed.
Well, then,
Dude,
you...
it has the lowest model has 250 mile range, and the highest has 500 mile range. So you could go 500 miles without battery charging at all. You could fucking go across the country and just not charge.
Yeah, America is not 500 miles wide.
Okay, I don't know miles, man. They're bigger. That's all.
You live in Canada. Canada is not that. Canada is the same amount of width. Wider, probably.
We're
It's actually wider right
Yeah, but no, I know it in kilometers though. It's 8,000 kilometers wide.
now. Yeah, so 8,000 kilometers.
500 miles isn't even all the way to Florida.
I wasn't thinking. Okay, well,
500 miles takes you to like North Carolina or something. Or
okay.
Virginia.
I thought New York to Florida was
I'm gonna...
far-
let's take a check on the mapperoonie.
I thought America was like a square shape, like California.
Have you never seen a map?
Yeah, it's like a little bit.
Have you here?
Do they only have maps of Canada in Canada, like no world maps? Like what the your education system is terrible.
We're actually like North Korea, and the world centers around us.
It's like
Justin Trudeau is. Speaking of North Korea, I posted a funny picture in the collage like 20 minutes ago.
I know, I saw.
Go see it.
He's sexy. I know, I saw. Anyways. No.
Like America is not a square.
No, I didn't mean a literal.
Canada has a prime minister they elected because they wanted to fuck him.
You know that beanie you wear?
Yes.
Okay, Canada is America's beanie.
Actually, America is Canada's underwear.
America, Canada is the head.
No, Florida is America's penis, and fucking fucking Mexico. I meant fucking Canada is America's hat, and fucking America is some fat guy named Homer Simpson, and fucking.
America is Mexico's hat, and then we're the.
No, and Mexico is the toilet that he sits on reading his newspaper.
We are the head.
Florida is God waiting you.
Okay, here's the thing. I mean it's not a literal square, but what I mean is like I thought it was roughly the same height as it was wide, just a little bit shorter than it was wide. Not a literal square, but it's kind of
like 1,000 by like I don't know 3,000 maybe or.
All right. So New York to Chicago is 790 miles, so it's not even Illinois.
Oh shit.
It's like going to Virginia or something like that.
790, not 750.
Dude, okay, well still, you can get pretty far without charging at all. Could you get that far without getting any gas?
No,
Exactly.
maybe like.
No, it's a rhetorical question.
Well, actually, I could probably get like there in 2 tanks.
Yeah.
My car
just like
goes
you
about
could- you
500.
could-
Actually, yeah. Sam could.
See, Sam, the thing is, your argument against electric trucks saying that you'd forget to charge it is just like saying, what if I forget to change my gas? You know,
Oh,
like,
but a gas station is they're everywhere.
they're building electric things into all of them too.
Your argument is essentially I'm too retarded to own a Cybertruck.
Yeah, and Sam, also, you know what the
Once there's charging stations everywhere and it doesn't take long
Sam.
to do it, I will be open. To
Dude, there's a charging
You
station
can
down the
charge
block.
From your house. You can charge from your house, literally. And that's just like imagine having a gas station at your house. That's how convenient it is.
Ethan, so 500 miles basically from here, Ethan, just to put it in perspective, would be basically driving from New York City to Mississauga.
Where the fuck is Mississauga?
Did you call it Mississauga? Does that
How do you Mississauga? What the fuck is it called?
Mississauga? It's nice and easy. we don't
He thinks everything is French and retarded. He just assumes Canada does it the wrong way.
Well, they do everything wrong. America's the best country in the world.
Fuck America.
Guys, your fucking imperial system has me fucking cracking up. Like,
No, at least
how,
we use the imperial system. That's a big fuck you to your queen. You don't use her system, but we do. Because we're nice.
well, she fucked up, okay? I don't even think it was
How
our.
dare you? I mean, she's your queen. We don't like her, but we still use
I
her
think-
system out of respect.
I don't
think it's
respect the monarchy or the Americans.
That coyote, I really hope you didn't believe a word I just said.
I believed everything you just said because I think that everything you say in character is true.
Take everything seriously, obviously. But, okay.
Isn't that the Christian way?
How many feet are in a mile?
A lot.
100 no, that's right.
That's a rent? How much?
Don't-
525,600 minutes in a year. That's how I know.
There is 500,
Definitely
5,000,
not 500 feet in a mile.
5,000,
5,300.
no, it's 5,280.
Okay, I was close.
Yeah.
Anyways, what the fuck is that number?
I'm going to rip you open cheek from cheek.
That's how many.
Here's
That's
the
how many.
thing.
That's how many.
The imperial system is fucked. I get that. Like, it doesn't make sense. Okay.
Yep.
However,
Technically, none of the
if I said
systems
it's
make
70
sense because they're all just
I
numbers.
said it's 70 degrees, Ethan, right?
Yeah.
The way I see it.
Cut off.
Coyote, wait. Ethan, if I said it's 70 degrees, right?
Yeah, I feel like holy shit, you're dead.
Exactly. Now, if you said it's 4 degrees Celsius, what the fuck does that mean?
Moderately cold or cool?
No, Fahrenheit is definitely better than Celsius because it's more. Any system that's more precise is better. That's really the only gauge because all we're doing is creating scales that mean nothing. So if your scale is more accurate, then it's a better scale.
So technically, your guys' temperature thing is better, but that's different. That's not imperial or metric. That's,
You could just
that's
combine the two. I use fucking kilometers when I'm talking about distance. Who gives a shit?
So, Ethan,
Yeah, that's what Canadians do. We
Ethan.
literally combine the two all the time. We're like part British, part American. Like,
Ethan, 1 Celsius is 33.8, but 2 Celsius is 35.6. It's a big difference.
yeah,
Okay.
I know. That I agree. Your guys' one might be more.
Essentially, Canada is terrible, and everyone who lives there is terrible. And go fuck yourself.
We can
You're
also use
right.
we also use decimals all the time, so it's not really a big deal when it comes to that shit. But anyways, I do agree. Maybe yours is a little more practical, but the amount of practicality is a very slight difference with the temperature. But the amount of practicality difference between metric and imperial is like thousands of times the difference. Like your guys' system is like 1,000 times worse than ours. That's how bad it is.
It's not my system. It's someone
We
else's.
use liters, too.
Oh, yeah.
We use liters and gallons. We use both interchangeably.
That's
sometimes.
that's another thing that really annoys me. Like the
And
imperial
milliliters, too.
The imperial system annoys me a little bit for measurements and stuff, but what really grinds my gears, not really grinds my gears, is fucking, you got two different fucking, what's it called, liquid ounces and regular ounces? Why do they both called ounces? One of them is a space measurement, one of them is a weight measurement. It's so
Fluid
fucking
ounces and, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know the perfect way to end the podcast later.
oh my god,
Sam, we'll join in, but Sam starts singing in the Peter Griffin voice. Some say love.
Oh, come on.
yeah, so we can make our
I'm
theme.
saying love.
No, wait. Oh yes, time for weather.
Temperature.
We're going to Barry Beckman with the weather. Barry, to you. Why? Yes, Tom. This is the weather in.
We're gonna start with the weather here in New York.
No. Fuck. I wasn't prepared for it. Shit.
I want to do this so bad.
All right, but you gotta let. All right, fine. You can be the weatherman, but I'll tell you which town to do.
Yeah, we're doing random and completely inconvenient locations.
No. Well, don't say.
Well, not inconvenient, but just random.
All right, it's the town of Batman, Turkey.
Is it real?
Yes,
Is that a real town?
the town of Batman, Turkey.
What state?
It's in Turkey.
Oh, I thought it was called Batman Turkey.
And the weather in Batman in Turkey is 33 degrees Fahrenheit or 1 degree Celsius. Wind east at 4 miles an hour or 6 kilometers an hour with 97% humidity. It is 4:32 a.m. on Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday? I thought it was Monday.
Thank you, Barry Guilford, with the weather. In other news,
I thought it was Monday today.
wait. No, it's Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
Tuesday in Batman right now.
Well, right now it's gonna go. This podcast is going up on Wednesday, so you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's Wednesday. Wait.
For all you weather aficionados who wanted to know the weather in Batman at 8:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is 33 degrees Fahrenheit, 1 degree Celsius, wind east at 4 miles an hour or 6 kilometers an hour, 97% humidity, and it's 4:32 a.m. Tuesday, February 4th, 2020.
Oh, it looks like there's actually a pretty huge storm in Indonesia right now.
Wait, how many people are in Batman?
In the United States?
What?
How many people are inside of Batman?
Oh wait, is Australia still on fire? That counts as weather. That's pretty interesting weather.
Yeah, that is interesting weather. What's the temperature in Australia right now, Sam?
Oh,
4,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
And now to Steve Winley for our weather report live in Australia. Steve.
It's all on fire. Everything's on fire.
Oh God! Oh God! It's fucking burning! Oh shit! Okay, thank you, Steve. And now sports. Just kidding.
Okay.
Fuck sports.
Am I right? Fuck.
Ah, damn it! I should have said it.
It's okay.
The Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
Hey, guys.
That's it in sports.
Fuck the Super Bowl.
Actually, you know what I found out recently? Speaking of sports, they have there's a 4chan World Cup that goes on at the same time as Super Bowl, and it's like a big thing where they play video game soccer, and they they did that. My friend was like following it. He was talking about like who was winning. I thought he was talking about the Super Bowl, and he's a total fucking like himself, but he's all like, yeah man, the fucking team Wally against team.
What?
Wait, what happened to that guy who was supposed to do the podcast?
Possibly why?
Coyote, I was asking if you wanted him in the premiere episode, and you said, eh.
I said he could.
Oh, I think you meant just for in general, not for today. I'll ask him if he's available.
Well, it's a little late.
I mean, you go through a segment with him.
We're getting near the end.
Here's leftover.
Oh God, I'm gonna have to edit this part out because Sam's ruining it.
Here's leftover. I'll
That's
follow
okay.
up in a little while. I'm actually on a podcast. Alright, bye.
All right, space. That's where I'm
Was
gonna.
I not muted that whole time?
All right, then I'll cut there.
Hey guys.
No, cut here.
Did you know
Okay.
that the population of, did you know that Batman is growing at a rate of 5% per year, and he has 298,000 people inside of him, with a male to female ratio of 1.
It sounds like Batman is very conflicted.
He's always conflicted.
It sounds like Batman's gonna take over the world. Oh my God, what's the Joker gonna do about it? Holy shit! He's going to use his vigilante power and extreme guidance to expand Wayne Enterprises to the entirety of the Western world and then the Eastern world, and then he's gonna he's gonna buy out SpaceX and go to the next world, and fucking Batman will run everything, and we're all fucked. Oh no!
I mean,
His sense of justice involves punching people he doesn't like.
I think Batman's secret identity is Elon Musk, so that makes sense. He doesn't need to buy it. But here's the other thing. The new Batman is the fucking guy who played Edward in Twilight. So there's gonna be a lot of people who want to be inside him. So the whole world is gonna be in his ass.
What?
The whole wide world in his ass. The whole wide world in his ass. Anyways, what's the next segment?
What is the next segment?
Well, they're supposed to come up organically.
I'm just familiar with the way that this structure works. Are you hearing me right now? Yeah.
Oh, right. The final. Now it's the movie of the week.
Movie of the week.
Now, because we don't have a movie of the week, we'll do a movie that we've already seen, and I know we've seen, except for Sam, who's a little bitch, who's just going to be a Jew about it, and he's just going to be like...
Oh, I know. I mean, have anyone seen The Irishman? That's kind of in the movie.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
I thought it was a really good movie. I just still think Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci
I
are
think so.
excellent actors. I just found it really weird that he kept calling him kid. Like, Robert De Niro, you know...
I mean,
People do that to themselves.
maybe it was just because I was...
guy didn't do shit.
Maybe it was just because I was pretty high when I watched it, but I didn't see too many problems with the CGI.
Oh, shit.
I mean, maybe it's because I didn't really know who the guy was beforehand. But I mean, I know who Robert De Niro is. I just didn't know who he was. You know.
No, I think it
So-
worked. He actually looked a lot younger. It was.
I mean, I thought he was supposed to be like in his 40s in the earlier scenes, and then like
I think so too. Yeah, he had kids that were already like little, like tween. But
he wasn't supposed to be like young. He was just like younger.
And some old people call slightly younger old people kids, so they feel like less old. You know, like my.
I mean, I didn't.
have some friends who are
I didn't even real. I honestly, a lot of people were like, "You drew on too long." I feel like it went on too that long for a good. I liked how long it went on personally. So they really got
I
to
wasn't too
build the
big.
world around it and journal fill out. Like at first, it was the kind of thing that I wasn't even sure I was gonna like at first, but it drew me in. And by like it took a while to draw me in. So by the time it drew me in, I was glad there was like a lot more left.
It also almost felt like it changed genres, which was a cool thing because it started off as like more of like a kind of like upbeat kind of crime movie, and it's like kind of like more like little intricate schemes and stuff and mafia stuff, and then it kind of changes because it goes throughout the whole like throughout the evolution of certain like mafias over the years, right? So it really kind of like it changes vibes in a cool way though. Like it gets more depressing and kind of bleak at the end.
I mean,
I like that. It was like it went from a crime movie to like more of a drama.
I mean, honestly, this would have been a lot better if this was like right after I watched it and I prepared for a review of it, because I had like there was definitely some interesting shit he did, but I can't fucking remember it right now.
Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of cool stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I like the ending a lot because it was
What movie is this?
The Irishman.
The Irishman.
Oh, I zoned out. No, it was
Sam, you
a
have-
really.
you have all
Because well, I like the ending because I don't even remember. See, I remember liking the ending for a really specific reason, but I don't remember why. That's why. All right, so this week's film segment is essentially film fuck you. I was gonna do it on The Last Jedi, but we ended it because I remember that better. But
I wouldn't have done that.
I guess we're doing The
that.
Irishman.
Wait, have you not seen it?
Sam hasn't seen Star Wars. No.
Watch much
'Cause-
movies.
'cause-
A documentary.
Regardless, this is a segment that's kind of supposed to be repaired, so it's
Have you you know what my favorite movie is?
Documentary
Have
of the
you seen-
week. I would have 100 things for.
My movie of the week. Have you seen Busty Asian Babes compilation 12 volume 15?
Oh, is that a
XXX?
Pornhub specialty?
No, it's actually the other one, the heavy R. I don't know actually.
on that note, I think we should end it on a song. Samuel, lead us in.
I don't know how to sing all of it, so I'll just do the best I can.
Karaoke version. Can we play that in the?
No. In Family Guy, it was acapella.
Come say
La.
it is a river.
That breaks the only sea.
And the night has been too lonely.
For the lucky and the strong.
Been too long. And you think that love is only for the lucky. And I fucked it up. And the strong.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah, don't put that on there.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. You don't know what the worst thing just happened. I'm just going to cut it right after you ended because the worst thing just happened.
What?
I looked up the lyrics for the song, and it played some shit in an ad, and it was just the worst.
I didn't hear it, but
There's some terrible pop song. OBS, but regardless, it's already cut, so it's ended. I'm gonna end it on that.
remember